Christine, I'm going to be honest. There are certain guys that, just they tug at your heartstrings. Some players you find yourself rooting for.
Yeah.
This guy, one of them. I'm going to be honest. Cassius Winston joining us now on the show. And look, Cassius, it was fun to watch you play at Michigan State. Your name is synonymous with what the Spartans have done for the last couple of years, obviously. But yesterday they lose the game. So, first time in a while you haven't been on the court in that big moment. What was it like watching your team go through that game when you couldn't step up on the court and help them?
Oh, man, it was rough. It was rough. You know what I mean? Just knowing that I was in that situation recently, you know what I mean, to be there to help those guys and help them get through that and, try to make a different outcome out of that. So it was tough watching it from the screen, watching them go out there and do it. But honestly, I thought they was going to handle it. I thought they had a good chance of winning it. A couple of things didn't go their way, end up coming up a little short.
And be honest, you yelling at the TV? Like when they're not doing what you want in the second half, are you yelling?
Oh, yeah, I was turned up on the TV. I was, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was at the game. I felt like maybe, say you injured you on the sideline. Like, that's how I felt when I was watching the game. So I was, all locked into it.
All right, so I'm just going to do a quick, subtle flex, and poor Jason Fitz in this moment. I was also a Division I athlete, and I played in an NCAA tournament, and it's a lot different than the regular season. I would imagine that March Madness is a little bit more exciting than the volleyball tournament that I played in. So what is it like to play in the tournament versus the regular season?
It's crazy. Like, it's just like everything on the line. This is what you've been playing for all season. This is what you've been working for all season. Like, every game you go out there is a chance for you to go home. Like, all of that is on the line. And then you're trying to compete against, the best from across the country. Like, it's dudes that you see on TV that you just never get to see because you're not in that conference. So the best point guard from here, the best shooting guard from here, or a player you always been curious about, you get to play him and things like that and see him. So, all of that's kind of happening at once, and you just going out there and try to make the most out of it.
So walk me through the emotion a little bit, because obviously the last time you were playing for Michigan State, you guys looked like you had a real shot at a national championship. You were having an incredible year, and then the pandemic took all of that away. So is there some bittersweet emotion with the return of March Madness, knowing what you didn't get the opportunity to try and do last time?
A little bit, you know what I mean? Try not to dwell over things that's not really in my control. You know what I mean? I feel like the things that were in my control, I did a good job of handling. Things that weren't in my control, I can't really do much about. But there's always going to be a piece of me that wonders what that last ride would have been like, and, maybe what else it could have did for my career and my time there at Michigan State. And hopefully, I had a chance to give them something back that could stand forever. But like I said, can't dwell too much on things that I didn't have any control over. So it's always going to be a piece of me that looks like, what could have been.
So I don't know if you remember this, but I don't know exactly what year it is, so I'm doing a bad job of introducing this clip. But there was a time where a Boston College player was asked what his favorite memory, what he's going to miss the most about playing basketball, and he started crying, and then he said, honestly, going out to eat. And it was a viral video. And I understood what he meant, because he just misses being with his team. It's a different vibe.
Right,
so I wanted to ask you, do you have any favorite memories, or what do you miss most about playing? Because collegiate is so much different than professional.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like I said, you miss all of it. It's a great time. It's a great experience, being with your teammates, being on the road, actually hanging out with those guys, bonding together for that, extended amount of time. Like, it's literally you grow from a boy into a man during your time there, and your teammates are there to see all of that. So, I understood what he meant too when he said, going out to eat. Like, that's one of the things that you do together as a team. You know what I mean? That's what you miss the most. You miss your brothers being there. You miss, some of those guys you're going to be lifelong friends with, just going out there and competing with those guys.
Okay, so you guys didn't get the ending you wanted last night, but Ohio State got beat today. I mean, there's a lot of rivalries going on in the NBA too, right? So who's trash talking who? Who are you blowing up through this whole March Madness tournament?
Man, Russell was actually on my line yesterday late last night talking crazy to me about that. I was actually pretty sick about that, because I wanted to be able to go in there and flex on him, and we was winning. So, but he ended up calling me talking crazy. It was like 12:30. The game was like 12:30, and it was 1 a.m. Like, he was excited about that one. So he got that one. Now that we out there, I'm kind of gonna be quiet for the rest of the tournament. I'm just gonna be, enjoying the game.
Becoming an adult after being a student athlete is a very hard transition. I would imagine it's a little bit easier for you because you're still playing your sport. But what was that like, the transition going from college to the pros?
It's different. Like I said, it's different. But Michigan State does a really good job of just, teaching stuff just outside of basketball. Like, it's not just basketball. You got to grow into a man. Like eventually you're gonna make decisions. Eventually you're gonna have to pay bills. Eventually you're gonna have to like do all these things and learn all these things. So like I said, I got a good family. I got, you know what I'm saying, I got people that I can ask how to be adults who are actually adults. So it's been an okay transition for me, just learning as I go, picking things up.
I mean, she's asking all the important questions. I'm sticking to all the fluff. Why a headband? I've always wanted to know, Cassius. Like, you're wearing the headband constantly. Was there a decision? Like, did you think sweatband, maybe armband, but then you went headband? Was there why the headband?
Nah, so when I was like, I had to be around like first grade, kindergarten. I used to like just pick the headband randomly, and like if I didn't play good, I would change the color of my headband, and whatever color was like working, I was playing good. So that like I kind of grew superstitious of the headband. So like I felt like my superpowers were in the headband, and now like if I go out there without the headband, I feel like I'm not even good at basketball really. So I kind of need it.
I mean, you making the Wizards get you like special like branded headbands? Like we got all sorts of Wizard swag with Cassius Winston on it?
Nah, not yet. You know what I'm saying? We might get some merch going later as I progress a little bit. But right now, you know what I'm saying, just a little NBA official one.
You can't switch it up like that. You have to wear the headband for every single game, because especially if you're winning, right? Like you can't switch it up.
I wouldn't say that. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. So you're not that superstitious then.
As I've got better at it, I get a little less superstitious at it. You know what I'm saying? I think like now it's like, oh, maybe it's my work a little bit more, but still I need a headband to kind of make me complete.
I'm just saying if this show goes well, I'm going to start wearing a headband for the rest of the year. Okay, so we mentioned, I'll do it. We mentioned the Wizards, obviously, that we talked a little bit about the transition. But for you, like, have you had that moment yet where you've been able to look out on the court and say, man, like you've worked your entire life to get here. Have you been able to get your aha moment yet?
Oh, man, a couple times. When I scored my first basket, NBA basket, it was like I scored it, and you know what I'm saying, during the game, you like, you know, of course, like this is what I do, like you whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying, of course I belong here, you know what I mean, it's a fairly easy shot, like I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying, made it. And then like after the game was over, I was like, I just scored in the NBA, you know what I mean, like that's crazy that I actually scored a basket in the NBA. I've been trying to do this I've been watching NBA since I don't know how long, since I've been able to watch TV. So to actually go out there and be out there and score a basket out there, I was like, people don't really get that opportunity. So I was there. That was like a shocking moment where it was like, I'm in the NBA.
My whoop-de-whoop-de, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. I love that. I haven't heard that in so long. I feel like I haven't heard that in so long. Okay, so now that your team is no longer in the tournament, unfortunately, you can look at this objectively. Who do you have to win the whole thing?
That's a good question. I don't know. You know what I mean? Once Michigan State kind of out of it, you know what I mean? I don't really, not necessarily rooting for anybody, you know what I mean? I hope, you know, whoever does it. I'll go for a Big Ten team. I like how Illinois is playing right now, so I root for them.
All right, perfect.
I love it. Look, just remember one thing. When you get the big branded, you know, gear, remember us and just, you know.
I am not wearing a headband, but I'll wear an armband.
Look, I will wear.
Okay,
I'll wear anything.
I'll mix it up. I'll mix it up. I'll make sure it's something everybody like.
Like, congratulations. It's fun to watch you in the NBA. It was amazing to watch you at Michigan State. We appreciate you carving out some time for us. Keep crushing it, Cassius. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.